What's up, math scholars? Mrs. Harp here, coming at you with a 6.5 video. We're officially calling it 6.5 word problem day. That won't line up with what you're finding in the textbook. But we're basically going to be using any method to solve. Graphing using Desmos, substitution or elimination to solve systems of equations that are coming from word problems. So hopefully you have a fun time watching along. All of these problems are in the paper that the sub should have already handed out. Okay, so we're going to start on the front side, the side that says something about what kind of monkey can fly. That's the side we're going to start on. Okay? At any time, please feel free to pause the video so you can catch up with what I'm doing. All right, so the following word problems are on your homework packet. Number 1, 3 times the larger of two numbers is equal to 4 times the smaller. So let's stop right there. That's enough information to come up with an equation. 3 times the larger of two numbers is equal to 4 times the smaller. So I'm going to have my two unknown variables be x and y. 3 times the larger of two numbers is equal to 4 times the smaller. So I'm basically going to have x be my larger and y be my smaller. I like to make note of that just in case they mention larger and smaller later on in the problem. Okay. So the second sentence will actually give us our second equation. The sum of the numbers is 21. All right, so we got our system set up. I think definitely our best bet for this one is to use substitution because we can solve for one of the variables relatively easily. We have a lot of options of what variable to solve for. So let's just solve this bottom equation 2 here for x. So I'll subtract my y over, leaving me with x equals 21 minus y. That's going to be my bubble. That's what I'm going to use to do my substitution. So I'll circle it. I'll be taking my bubble up into equation 1 and inserting it for x right about here. So let's write out what we would have. 3, and then goes your bubble, 21 minus y equals 4y. We do have a little distributing to do with this 3. So 3 times 21 is 63. 3 times negative y is negative 3y. And of course we have a 4y over here. We're solving for y. Keep your eye on the prize. So let's move the 3y over. Get 63 equals 7y. And divide both sides by 7. So I should have told you before now, but you definitely are going to want to be doing this work on a separate paper. There's just not room on these worksheets. So have a notebook piece paper out to be doing all your work if you haven't already figured that out. That space is crunched. Okay, so we have half of our answer. We have y, which is our smaller number. And we go back to the bubble. So take your 9, go back to your bubble to get what x equals. 21 minus 9 will give us what x equals, which is 12. So y equals 9, x equals 12. Just go ahead and put it in the coordinate like we've been doing this whole chapter. Feel free to pause and catch up if you got behind at all while it works that problem out. Okay? All right, here we are on number 3. Let's go ahead and read it and set our equation up. The larger of two numbers is 1 more than twice the smaller. So the word more is going to be adding, and the word twice is going to be multiplying. Let's read that one more time and write out an equation. The larger of two numbers is equals 1 more than twice the smaller. So in this particular one, I'm having x be my larger number, and I'm having y be my smaller number. Making note of that off the side, just in case I forget. All right, the sum of the numbers is, so the sum of the numbers is 20 less than 3 times the larger. So 20 less means subtract 20. It's 20 less than 3 times the larger. And that's kind of why I wrote down what the larger was. The larger was x. That's going to be my system. So this one is just screaming substitution to me because it's already got x solved. But since we haven't really used graphing in Desmos yet, let's actually go to Desmos to type these two equations in. Okay? So grab your Desmos. Don't know if you can hear me from over the computer, but we're going to type both equations in. X equals 2y plus 1 and x plus y equals 3x minus 20. Let's zoom around so you can find it, and then do a hover. I zoomed around so I found it, and I did a hover click, so it looks like x is 13 and y is 6. So feel free to pause and try your own Desmos on your computer. Thought it'd be a good time to talk about what our first key word of the lesson is. It is solder. I am at solder today at my son's school for story snack. So solder, S-A-U-D-E-R, one word. Number 5, the sum of two numbers is the same as 4 times the smaller number. All right. Think about that a little bit. The sum of two numbers, that means we're going to be adding, is, the word is means equal sign, is the same as 4 times the smaller number. So I'll just have x be my smaller number on this one, and y be my larger. Let me make sure we did that right. The sum of two numbers is the same as 4 times the smaller. That looks good. Let's read our second sentence. If twice the larger number, so twice the larger would be 2y, is decreased by the smaller number, so subtracted by x, the result is 30. All right, we haven't used elimination yet, and this would be a great problem for elimination. What we would need to do, though, is get our numbers to line up. I would want to reverse my 2y and my negative x, so I'll go ahead and do that right now. I'll just do erasing. Negative x and a positive 2y. And I love this one for elimination because it's already set up for the elimination. The x's will go away, so that's awesome. When we add up our y's, we'll have 3y. Oh my gosh, I did mess up. I am so sorry. I was too busy getting excited about elimination. I didn't even realize we had that 4x over there. Sorry, hopefully you're using pencil and not pen. Let's do a little bit of erasing. This original equation before I got a little crazy was 2y minus x. There we go. It happens, my bad. So let's rewind our thoughts here. How about we just, there's so many options. How about we just solve this top one for y and then just use substitution? I really wanted to do elimination with you guys, but it's okay. Y equals 3x then would be our bubble. So I rewound my thoughts and solved my top equation out for y. Now, that bubble equals y. So you have to put it in the appropriate place right here. So it's 2 times 3x minus x equals 30. So I have 6x minus x equals 30. Need some more space. Which gives me 5x equals 30. And when I divide by 5, I get 6. There's your first half of your answer. To get your second half of your answer, you go back to your bubble, which is the 3x. Y equals 3 times x. So y equals 3 times 6. It's 18. All right, let's head to number 7. The last one we're going to do on the front. The price of a sweater is 5 less than the price of a shirt. I went ahead and decided I was going to use a W for sweater and an S for shirt. Just make sure your S's don't look like 5s and you write them very neatly. The price of a sweater is 5 less than twice the price of the shirt. Does that make sense? The price of a sweater is 5 less than twice the price of the shirt. If 4 sweaters and 3 shirts cost $200, find the price of each shirt and each sweater. All right, since I've been dying to use the elimination, we're going to use the elimination on this one. The only thing you'll have to do to get everybody to line up, and I realize this is set up for substitution, but let's just use elimination just for one more practice of that skill. So I'm going to subtract over my 2s over to this side, giving us, I should have left more space, but I'll just write it down here down below. Y minus 2s equals -5. And everything's lined up for elimination. I would, however, need to multiply my bottom equation through by a -4. So that would give me, and I'll write it right here in pink, -4y, positive 8s, and positive 20. And now we're ready to add straight down. All my w's will go away. I'll have 11s, and I'll have 220. After dividing by 11, that gives you 20. Okay. Since I got s to be 20, I'll just go plop it right about here. That'll give me my w quickly. 2 times 20 is 40 minus 5. That's 35. So I don't know how you want to put this as far as a coordinate. You could go with 20, 35. Just make sure you label that this is s and this is w, since they're not really x's and y's. All right, hit pause if you need to catch up, and let's head to the back side. Did the doe win the big animal race? We're also going to do the odds. We're just going to work on setting up the odds. I'm pretty sure you can do the substitution, the elimination, the graphing in Desmos, but setting it up is most of the battle here, so we're just going to set these ones up for you. Okay? Mr. Merrill. Make sure our video is still recording. Awesome, we're at 12 minutes. All right. These will go quicker since we're just setting them up. Mr. Merrill has 3 times as many nickels as dimes. I had trouble thinking about this. 3 times as many nickels as dimes. So he has more nickels, right? More nickels. So I used N and D. I had N equals 3 times dimes. And if you don't believe me, you can put some fake numbers in. Like, let's pretend he has 10 dimes. That would mean he has 30 nickels. Because 3 times as many. So that does work. The coins have a total value of 150. So you really think of the value of each coin. Dimes are 10 cents each, so I set that up like that, 0.10D. Nickels are 5 cents each, so I would set it like this. And then it has a total value of 150. So I would have no trouble just heading to Desmos on this one, but you'd have to have your D be an X and your N be a Y. And just remember which variable you had be an X and a Y. Desmos can't handle D's and N's, only X's and Y's. A vending machine takes only dimes and quarters, and it contains 30 coins. So dimes and quarters together would be 30 coins. These coins have a total value of 420. So again, you got to think of your values. It's 10 cents each for dimes. It's 25 cents each for quarters. And they're saying the total value is 420. So that would be your setup. And you could solve it however you want. This one definitely would be good for elimination. For Desmos, your choice. Or even substitution. Number 5. A collection of nickels and quarters amounts to 260. So we are going to have to talk dollars and cents here. Nickels are 5 cents each. Quarters are 25 cents each. It amounts to 260. There are 16 coins in all, so nickels plus quarters is 16. And then you'd have to solve. So just to be clear, I'm only setting these up for you for the notes, just to save time on the video. But on the homework tonight, I would want you to solve the homework problems. You don't have to come back and solve odds, but your homework tonight will be to solve the evens. Right? I think this is a good time for my second keyword of the lesson. Make sure you're watching. It is Mrs. Harp's favorite animal. And Mrs. Harp's favorite animal is an owl. O-W-L, owl. I actually have an owl living in my front yard right now, so I hope it's making a nest and going to have babies. It had babies last year. It's an eastern screech owl. So the keyword is owl, O-W-L. Number 7. Last one we're going to do together. For a school play, 340 tickets were valued at $810. So basically we're selling 340 tickets. I'm going to let X be one type of ticket and Y be the other type of ticket. So if we're selling 340, this would be my setup. Type 1 plus type 2 is 340. Now we got to talk dollars and cents. Some tickets cost $2. Some tickets cost $3. And all of them added together was $810. That one's a little bit tricky because some of my information came from the first sentence, some of the information came from the second sentence. But I used all the information to make two equations. All right, we didn't do bad. We did the whole video in 15 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. Your homework, now that you've watched the video, is to first go on to Polaris and do a mini quiz about the lesson, just so I know you watched the lesson. And then to complete the remaining problems that I have not done with you. So basically you're doing the evens. You can skip number 8 on the DOE worksheet because it's a 3x3. There's 3 unknowns, do 3 equations kind of hard. But feel free to show all your work, write down how you solved them. Make sure you use elimination and substitution each at least once or twice, and then maybe you can use Desmos for the other ones, just so you can practice all skills. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday.